Friends, welcome back to the second half. It's exposition time, I suppose. To catch us up, we've learned that our good friend Calidus became an Inquisitor after serving for several years as an interrogator underneath another Inquisitor. The two of them were looking for a specific object rumored to be in the local area. So, the object has this is the part of the file that has so many seals on it that needs Inquisitorial or higher ranking in order to break. The first one is sealed at a Inquisitor Lord level, so only a subset of multiple Inquisitors can open it, or someone who has been recognized as an Inquisitorial Lord. It is called the Pharos. But it does have a number of sub-seals on it from Adeptus Mechanicus. It appears to be related to a race called the Necrons. The Inquisitors, or Inquisitor and Interrogator, were looking for something built from a substance called Noctilith, which is also, again, no information provided. And even if there was more information, it would be sealed by the Adeptus Mechanicus. Your Rosette overrides that, but again, there's no locally stored information about what Noctilith is. The Pharos apparently was created of this substance, and they were hoping that they could find an object that would allow them to stabilize space, counteracting the effects of the warp and essentially making reality pure again. This appears to be Calidus Cinevis's primary goal on planet when he was promoted to Inquisitor. He is seeking out whatever Noctilith substance is here in the hopes eventually of counteracting, if not the entirety of the Great Rift, the Cicatrix Maledictum, then at least making a hole back to Imperial space. It's recently been updated over the last 6 months with the arrival of people from the far side of that space, with more of his notes and thoughts about what exactly this device will be used for. Of course, their original intent was not to find this device to close the rift. It was simply to find it and acquire it for the Imperium for defensive purposes, but now it could be used as a bridge. For many years, for 60 years, he toiled with little effort and was forced to take on increasingly more important government jobs until, at the rise of the next Lord Governor, he simply just told that Lord Governor, I'm the government now. I already control almost every aspect, so I'm going to just run the planet for you now. His recent reports about Noctilith have been coming up empty, and at that point, the Eldari kick in. He is contacted by a Eldari sage in a Psyker dream. Not a lot is written in the file about that, simply noting that it happened. At that point, Eldari begin arriving through their peculiar method of travel. He appears to hold them in high regard for their knowledge and their psychic capability, and assumes that they might be helpful, but is also extremely wary of them because, of course, they have a terrible reputation. Seers, Farseers specifically, are known to be, I wouldn't say betrayal-ish, but what would be a good word? Mercurial.
And so certainly Eldar-centric.
Yeah, definitely Eldar-centric. For the last few years, that has been ongoing, and at some point, he's been creating more and more teams. It looks like he currently has about 24 Inquisitorial teams under his command. Only 3 of them remain on this planet. Numerous ones of them have recently been reassigned to Valorum. You can see that just today, after your discussion with him, several of those teams are being recalled at earliest convenience.
All right, I'm going to assume that my character knows nothing about the Pharos, despite what I know, because I don't think it will be something that.
Yeah, there's also no explanation about what Pharos, Necrons, or Noctilith is in this file. It's simply, it's like you go to the wiki page and it's just like, there's nothing here.
Well, I mean, if Lycus asks, I can explain because the Iron Hands have fought the Necrons multiple times. So it's very much part of their history. They've come to blows over various things.
Yeah,
but it's
if you
still
guys
not a
want to
lot.
Fill each other in on what you think about this right now. What a great time, because I've been talking.
I think first off, we should probably shut this down and then have this conversation in the flyer heading to see this Taylor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're leaving, Ionity joins you and says, "Is there anything else you'll be requiring, Acolyte?"
Not at the moment. If there are any peculiar individuals that come here, please give me a call. Give me my Vox information.
He's just like, "What do you mean by other individuals?"
Extravagantly dressed.
Very well.
A mixture of gold and purple. About yay high.
This is sounding very specific. Before you were quite broad. I will have a notice for the staff here if they see someone yay high, dressed extravagantly in gold and purple.
Thank you.
As you're leaving, Antipho, Bremita comes up to you and is just like, "I'm sorry. It feels good to let it all out. Is there anything you would like to share with the God Emperor before you go? Any closing thoughts?"
Is this on the landing pad?
No, this is at the door.
Okay.
We didn't use the landing pad.
Well, wherever we landed.
You guys landed in the middle of the street.
There's no need to apologize for one's faith. I'm glad that someone could be so open about it. These days, whenever it seems like everyone and everything is trying to kill us, it's nice to see something so refreshing and reminding us of the power and the faith of the Emperor.
She starts crying again. She's like, "That's so beautiful." As your group leaves and gets on the Valkyrie, she's standing in the doorway waving.
It's like, hey, put on the headset or whatever when we take off. It's like, I'm never going back there again.
Yes, you will, and you know it.
Yes, holy men are the holy
Antipho
types are
Renato,
very,
scared of a woman.
Well, luckily for Antipho, Sisters of Battle are not celibate, so.
She's specifically not a sister, though. She's less battly and more sistery.
And they're already married to the Emperor if they're sister of battle anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sometimes the real Emperor are the friends we made along the way.
That's heresy.
That is.
They're
heresy.
actually they consider themselves the Emperor's daughters, not wives, because that was during the age of apostasy. Yog Vandai made them change the name to the brides of the Emperor.
Yeah.
And so specifically after he was defeated, they no longer consider themselves to be married to the Emperor, only to be the Emperor's daughters.
wow. Lore knowledge.
Emperor's
Everybody
Daughter
else.
sounds like a really good album name.
You can take most of the stuff in 40K and make a good album name out of it.
All right. The
Yeah.
Valkyrie.
Yeah, you guys were going to have a conversation inside it. Tell me more.
Yes. So I'm glad we did open that. I didn't know that really told us much about this current situation, except to probably remove suspicion on Cinevis. I don't know if you feel the same way, Acolyte.
Yes, it kind of is good to know who you follow sometimes.
Got him. Fucking got him. Now, when he betrays you, you'll never see it coming. Please go ahead.
So I could only make out a little bit, or like I can only add a little bit to what was in his record there. I've never encountered the Necrontyr in my lifetime. The Eldari certainly fought them during the God War. In fact, it was through our sort of conflict with the Necrontyr that our people originally discovered the webway. But I don't know much more than that. This is all in my people's ancient history. And although I've heard rumors that the Necrontyr have resurged in recent centuries, they're not ones I've ever encountered. But I can believe that they had technology that would allow warp travel different to how your species throws itself into the Sea of Souls.
Something came to mind that I probably should have looked up. Probably should have looked up our other Inquisitor friend that came in from the Order of Kronos.
Pisha?
Yes.
Well, she's come from a distance, though. I can't imagine that she was known. I mean, Cinevis has been in this sector for a long while, hence why there's records of him here.
Yes, but he probably could have made other records to put her under file.
He may have recorded information about her, I suppose, as well.
Who knows? Maybe something would have popped up. There's some other secret connection. Oh.
Interesting that he had agents deployed to the world that she's heading to now. That have been recalled since.
I don't know. That's a matter for another time. Currently, we have a heretic to follow.
Mm.
Who knows? If we get this done in a timely manner, we may go back and look it up. Or we go to sleep. Sleep sounds nice.
You essentially enter what is a giant pipe heading down into the earth and lower the ship into it in order to find your way deeper and deeper into the hive. It is rough going down this thing. I mean, we're talking weird draftways at every level so that you can like get out of essentially this hole, this pipe. The airflow is coming up beneath you. The air is essentially being forced up through the pipe, and so you're lowering yourself slowly against turbulent winds. You make your way down to the 17th sublevel, where you spend a few minutes navigating to the factory owned by good man Hawk Pool. So this is a private, it's Imperial citizens, but it's not a like worker dormitory. It's a private organization owned by Hawk Pool himself. There are not Valkyrie compatible parking spaces here. But you can land on like several empty spaces at the edge of the parking lot.
I almost feel like we should land further away and come in on foot discreetly if we haven't already buzzed the tower.
Yeah, for sure.
You have not buzzed the tower. If you wanted to approach discreetly, then I mean, this is a special forces vehicle specific to the Inquisitorial staff. If you wish discretion you shall have.
Well, like as soon as we get to the right level, I would have killed the like transponder and any navigation lights, like just to like anything. Essentially, try and run silent as much as possible. Yeah, silent running.
Let's see how many movie references we can make.
I was just mostly making like Elite Dangerous references, but I mean, we're too. Anything that we don't really need, just because, and I will agree with Eshairr that we should probably land further away and make our way in on foot, because we're not familiar with this territory.
Lycus, Santoro, Hero of the Imperium, Acolyte of the Inquisition. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
So you all are the only ones in the streets, and you can see people watching you from their houses nearby, from worker dormitories, but mostly this area is super industrial. In between large apartment blocks, you find manufacturing areas. The workers in there don't have time. They're now doing triple overtime shifts with no extra pay. When you see them, they're not looking at you. They simply look like their souls have been removed from their body. at the knowledge that they're going to be spending the next 24 or more hours in working with, and who knows, with the government they could just say, stay working for a week, don't go home. You make your way through the archway, a low kind of whatever passes for brick material wall, an archway to let the workers in that has some sort of peppy slogan like happy hands or healthy hands or something like that.
I would suggest that Eshairr and Kalrak go to the shadows like they typically do.
Yeah, we're gonna team over. It's gonna ingress quietly somewhere else.
Oh, I totally got my camo cloak
there's
up and
plenty
over my
of
head.
ingress capable locations, plenty of fire doors, exterior locations, loading bays. It's a full-on multi-thousand person, multi-level factory. Please make your stealth checks.
Most of the area is just made of like ferrocrete.
If ferrocrete is a word, then yes.
It's concrete essentially.
Yeah, everything here is made of ferrocrete. Then.
Let's see, it's making stealth.
So while the exterior wall is painted with happy slogans and the archway is painted, everything inside is the dull gray that you would expect. Well, you look like you did a whole bunch of real good stuff here, Eshairr.
Yeah, that's a complication.
Well, here's a question. I mean, I assume we're moving cover to cover, staying out of the streets line of sight.
Sure.
Okay, because that gives me plus, if we're mostly in cover when we're not moving, that gives me +1.
Sure.
Okay.
Arthur, I didn't look at my card while we're doing the buying montage, but I had the get a free piece of equipment card.
Yeah.
Could I cash it in for Prey-Sense goggles?
Yes.
Ooh, I like your James. Is like, God damn it.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself another ruin, which brings me up to like 8.
5.
7.
Prey-Sense goggles?
They're just night vision essentially, or thermal vision or anything.
Let me take that card off of you.
Yeah, Prey-Sense is the shit.
Yeah,
I'm the only one that hasn't gotten one of those cards yet.
It turns out that you just had Prey-Sense goggles all along. Who knows where you picked them up from? Maybe you got them off the battlefield.
I was just lying around in the Valkyrie.
Well, they're also like Prey-Sense scopes too. It's just thermal vision.
Yeah, my gun has a Prey-Sense scope by default, but it means I can use that without having to worry about firing the gun up.
Yeah, he got the good one. I got the not as great one.
How many successes did you get? 5?
3, 4, yeah, 5.
Okay, you both got exactly what you needed. 5 successes. Even with thousands of workers, you all are master manipulators of the shadows. You stay out of sight, you stay out of sound, moving when everyone is distracted or when there's loud noises, which in a giant tailoring machine shop is constantly.
Mm-hmm.
You do catch some, let's call it ambient dialogue, mostly people complaining that they're stuck here, but some of them are just like, did you catch the latest Vox? Yeah. Man, when he stabbed that Eldar, I was shocked. I thought that they were best friends for life, but
how about that scrum ball, huh?
Yeah. One guy was just like, I really lost my bet on the Blood Bowl game that I was that I was watching. Who knew that the Tuckersville Orcs would do so well? Fucking Tuckersville, am I right?
So are they actually speaking about Orcs and Eldari, or that's just...
They are speaking about Eldari, but the Eldari they're talking about is on a entertainment, show, basically.
Okay.
They're not talking about Blood Bowl because that's not canon. But I did want to make a Blood Bowl reference.
Yeah, it's called like Scrum Ball or some shit. Like every planet calls it something stupid. But it's essentially but it's more like NFL Blitz where people are just beating the shit out of each other.
Didn't fantasy used to be canon until Age of Sigmar?
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you hear it a couple more times, Eshairr. It sounds like the topic of Eldari showing up in popular ongoing shows is real big this season. They're everywhere, and it mostly sounds like Eldari show up, like my second cousin has arrived, and he is Eldari. And everyone's like, how is that possible? And he's like, an Adeptus Mechanicus Magus Biologus incident turned him into an Eldari. But now I don't know if I can trust him.
It's just like the planetary equivalent of like a Spanish soap opera.
Yes.
Are they trying to normalize?
Yes, they're trying. Well, one thing is they're normalizing Eldari, but on the other hand, you are constantly hearing about how Eldari can't be trusted. Where they betray people on the show, and then they get stabbed to death. It's in a way that you don't know a lot about humans, right? You got your little book, but it definitely sounds like since you've arrived, Eldari have become a very popular topic on the planet.
Okay. I guess we just want to get to where we can see the
Lycus and
Lycus.
Antipho. So
Yeah,
you guys get up on a catwalk that's used to help repair and maintain the lighting system, and can do that Mass Effect 2 mission thing. There are several missions where you're just like up in the rafters following people, and then you're like, wait there, I'll tell you when to go.
Yeah. As soon as you said Mass Effect, I knew the exact scene you were talking about.
Lycus, Antipho, let's talk about you, or as you're known, Team Overt. What are your plans at the front door?
Team Overt.
That's not what I called you. That's what they called you.
We call ourselves
just
Team
going
Covert.
through the front door.
Okay, you go through the front door. The door is locked.
I believe he said he went through the front door.
I did say.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah, you with your power armor, you just kick open the front door. Bam. This is one of the desk secretaries turns, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, did you just kick through that door?
I did.
Who
It was quite
are
enjoyable.
you? You're
Power
not
armor,
supposed to
probably
be
knocked out
out
the
right
hinges.
now. You know that, right?"
I have special liberties. I would like
This
to speak to
armor
your
says
boss.
otherwise.
Well, they don't know about the Inquisition, mostly. She gets on the phone and is just like, yes, hello, Arbites? There's a guy that just came into our factory. He's wearing some sort of power armor. I think he might be a terrorist, but he's just looking at me while I'm talking.
You're gonna want to hang that up now.
She's like, I'm being threatened by them. I'm going to hang up right now, so I need you to come as quickly as possible.
Which way is it to your boss?
She's like, you can see she's doing a calculation right now as to whether her life is worth her boss's. And it takes her several seconds, and then she says, go down that hallway, take the elevator up to the first star floor, and then first office on the right. Well, have fun now.
You're
Try
not
to
leading,
get shot by
leading
the
me.
police.
You're not leading me astray, are you?
No.
Insight check.
I would not lie to... Okay, make an insight check. She says, I would not lie to a man in power armor and what appears to be an Imperial Guard deserter who's made of guns.
Wow. Because they
three
called you
successes.
Imperial Guard. How insulting.
I have 3 successes.
You think that she is freaking out right now. She wants to live very, very badly.
I appreciate your cooperation.
Okay.
We'll
And I
be
like
off.
still
Thank you for the
smiling, turn
information.
off, and walk away.
Like it starts going.
As you get out of sight range, she presses a button on her Vox and says, "Security!" which echoes throughout the facility. There are armed men heading for Mr. Hawk's office.
I look over him. We should probably let's just go.
So,
She's
you
just
guys,
doing her job.
you guys ride the elevator. There are so many floors here. It's listed 1 through 17, and then it's 1 star, 2 star. You head to the 1 star level? Question mark? Yes.
whatever where she said the
Yeah.
office
All
was.
right, I just didn't know if you were like, let's go to number 17 and get off and walk down or something like that. As the elevator door opens, there's a aged man. He looks like he's about 80, curly white salt and pepper hair. Your other team Covert, is in position to see him as the door opens, and he has his hand on his holstered pistol and holds the hand forward and says, "All right, boys, I'm gonna need you to stop right there. Just gonna need you to wait for the arbitres to show up. You're not authorized to be here, and you're breaking the law."
I am the law.
I am the law.
Can I see some
Mr. I am
identification,
the
please,
law.
sir?
I think he just points at the.
Show him.
Well, he's obviously not know. He obviously doesn't know what the Inquisition is. Like Centauro, here the Emperor, yada yada yada.
Oh, hey! I think I've heard of you. You're one of those TV stars. Well, you still can't be here, son. I'm gonna need you to, take you and your bodyguard. Sorry, what'd you say?
I'm going to go see your boss now.
He unholsters he unsnaps the clip and gets his hand fitted on the button. He's like I said, I'm gonna need you to just stay right there, okay? Nobody
Listen.
needs to get hurt.
Old man, we
Yeah.
are with the Inquisition. We need you to step out of the way. Do you understand the words?
I'm gonna give this man about
These
3
words
seconds.
as I'm
Make-
saying them.
Make an intimidation check.
What's my intimidation currently at?
Look at ageist Antipho Renatus.
6. It's like Lycus is still reluctant.
Your
If you were on a-
intimidation was 6.
If we were in a high enough place, you'd normally be able to scan the
I
rosette.
think you
and get
rolled too many
clearance, but-
dice.
No.
Your intimidation is 6.
My intimidation is 8 now. That sheet
Well,
isn't correct anymore.
I have good news for you. You still failed.
Well, I'm gonna burn to reroll the failures.
Very well.
You got 1 success.
2.
And you roll 7 die.
Well, he has 2 successes.
Does he?
Got a 4 and a 5.
Oh, he has 2. Okay, I missed the 5.
There we go.
Okay, well, that's 5
1,
more
2, 3,
successes
4,
than
5,
you
6, 7, 8.
needed. What do you want to do with those bonuses?
I'm gonna upshift one of them for an additional glory, and another one for added effect.
So as he's looking at you, he's like, "Oh, holy cow! The Inquisition is real." He re-snaps his pistol, and he's like, "Oh, my bad. Well, listen, fellas, if you're looking for the boss, his offices, let me just get the key. I'll open it up for you, okay?"
Thank you.
You might want to notify the rest of your forces that there is no emergency here,
And
and
someone else
also
needs to
let
fix-
the arbiters know not to bother wasting their time.
So he pulls out his walkie-vox and is just like, "Oh, hey, guys, listen up. The Inquisition is here. No need to get worried. Everyone return to your posts. Someone call the local arbitres and tell them the Inquisition's here, okay? All right. I'm over and out. Roger." You can hear a bunch of people coming back on like, "You shitting me, old man? Over." He's just like, "Nope, no shitting today. Got my adult diapers on. Over." Opens the door, unlocks it. Inside, Hawkpool is sitting at his desk, looking extremely nervous. He's got one hand underneath his desk so you could see, right? It's like a desk with a cutout, and you could see he's like holding a shotgun there, and he says, "So you're with the Inquisition?"
Indeed.
You're going to want to put
away
that
the weapon,
down.
Oh yeah,
Please?
he's like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were coming to kill me."
That remains to be seen.
He
Not yet.
starts putting the shotgun down. At this point, we see it behind behind him. So Antipho and Lycus could see the walkways behind his office, a sort of stealthily moving camellia-line cloak and Space Marine scout armor blending in with lighting systems. So you all could see each other through the skylight of his office.
Now, I'm going to make this extremely brief.
I'm sorry. Can you give me a moment?
No.
Okay. What do you need?
I need you to tell me everything you know and any possible whereabouts of your friend Talron Aspects.
I wouldn't say Talron Aspects is my friend, a client for sure, although he was recently added to my blacklist for reasons I don't understand.
Where is he?
I don't know. Servitor! It brings him like a giant folder, and he's like, "This is the last shipping address that I have for him." He reads out the address for the apartment that was in the town that you've currently basically killed everyone in.
Is there anything you have that's not on the official record?
He really loves ham and bean soup. He got a taste for it back in his Imperial Guard days and can't live without that specific ration, apparently. Very unusual. Every time we go out to eat together, he always brings a ration with him. The man will never be high society, no matter how hard he tries. What a peasant.
Acolyte, maybe ask him about the costume that we saw on Aspects and who, if not him, could have made such a thing.
Yes. I've recently actually seen him, and he had quite exquisite taste of clothing. Do you know who else possibly could have made it for him?
Made what?
Or what he pretty much just describes what he was wearing.
Oh, well, that cloak is a custom creation that I had made several times. He would have ordered that from me. I don't know about the rest of the outfit that you're describing. Certainly it sounds interesting, but if a known heretic is wearing it, I'm not going to be making it again. In fact, Servitor, go burn the file on the gold cloak. We're not doing that anymore. I don't need the Inquisition breaking my door down a second time.
Do you know who possibly could have made it?
The clothing? The other clothing?
Yes.
There are many tailors. Several of them were executed recently, about 6 months ago. No reason.
Ones that aren't executed at the moment.
I'm sorry, I'm struggling to come up with anything. I don't run in the kind of circles that deal those goods. A lot of what we make
Just because you don't run in those circles doesn't mean you don't know who they are. A good businessman would keep an eye on his competitors.
I do keep an eye on my competitors, but the things you're talking about are of a whole higher tier than what I work with. Do you think you get down here on the 17th level of the hive because you're hobnobbing with nobility? I'll tell you what, if you somehow have a way into the Imperial I'm sorry, you're the Inquisition. You can definitely get in the Imperial Palace. Several of the members there, I've seen on Vox. Rykard Humes, the governor's brother, wore something quite similar to what you're describing. You could perhaps speak with him.
Ask him whether Aspects knows he's been blacklisted by his company.
Does Aspects know that he was blacklisted from you?
Oh, I haven't heard from him since he bought that gold cloak.
How long ago was that?
Maybe a year ago?
Okay. What other addresses did you have for him? It was tacky.
When you say that, he's like, ooh, oh, I personally designed that. He gives you several addresses, but they're all on the planet Valorum.
Okay.
Do you mind if we join you, Acolyte?
No, please go ahead.
I indicate towards the skylight to Kalrak.
You guys just gonna make a running leap and break through the window and jump in there?
I think just Kalrak just stands over the glass,
Kalrak would
starts
first.
breaking.
I mean, if that's what we want to do, yeah, bust through skylight. or we can see if it's openable. Some are, some aren't.
Sorry, skylight is probably a bad descriptor. I'm talking like a wall, a windowed wall, to look out over the factory floor.
Okay.
So, we're talking a lateral jump to break into there.
All right. Well, I want to come. I want to go in the room. That's all important.
Okay.
I don't need make
All
a
right,
big
yeah,
entrance.
you make your way outside. The guard is outside the room. He's just like, "Oh, hey, you with the Inquisition team?
Yes.
Oh, let me just get this door right open for you."
I imagine
ma'am."
Eshairr's in, and then Kalrak is like comes up behind it.
Oh,
'Cause
didn't see you there, big fella. Wow,
I've got to be probably a head taller and probably 3 times as wide.
You move pretty quietly for a guy your size. So he opens the door, and as this is happening, Hawk goes for the shotgun. He's just like, "Get right! Oh no, they're with you, right?"
Yes, they're with me. Don't worry.
Like as soon as he went for the shotgun, my arc pistol's out and aimed at his head.
He turns and sees like, whoa! I'm a loyal Imperial citizen. No heresy here. Fully cooperative. Alright,
Even
just a
loyal
little nervous.
citizens,
I heard
even
people
loyal
were trying to kill
citizens
me.
can make mistakes.
Lycus, it sounds like aspects
Keep the
may
gun
have
trained on him regardless.
an inferiority complex. He's interested in noble bearing. He claimed that he would see us bow down before him. I wonder if this is a vice we can use to trap him, create an opportunity where he would potentially benefit in some form of status or obvious wealth to lure him out. It could be as simple as this man contacting him with claims of having, a new outfit that he's created that would be perfect for aspects, something that would finally give him the notoriety he wants among the nobles, and see if we can attract his attention that way, or at least get him to give us a lead.
What is your last means of contact with him?
I just voxed him.
Do you still have his number?
I do.
I can perhaps give you some pull into the noble district. Give it a good word for you.
But he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are we quid pro quoing right now?"
Yes.
He like brushes his suit off and pulls himself.
Just like as I keep my gun trained on him. Point
Put
of
the
interest.
gun away, Antipho.
Why?
Put your weapon away. We're doing business here.
Yes, business. Yes. What do you need?
I lower it, but I keep it in my hand.
If you can get into contact with Mr. Tyrone Aspects, if you can get into contact him and then perhaps present a possible garment that you have a possible garment that he may enjoy, something that would help him look even more regal than what he already does. I can perhaps promise you some leeway into the noble district. I, in fact, know that the governor's brother is looking for a new tailor, for his previous one has been deceased.
I would love to work for the governor's brother. He says, "Servitor, bring me the Vox." And he starts, dialing up Talrond. He's just like, "Talrond! It's Hawk. You in town? I know that there's, this lockdown, but maybe when that's ended, we could go get dinner. I was having some..." "Oh, interesting. Did. All right, I'm writing it down. So 8 spikes and a Mechanicus skull instead of a... Okay. Interesting. And you're sure that this is all legal? We'll talk more. All right. You have a good lockdown." He hangs up.
What is it with him and adding spikes to everything?
So he holds up a
They
design.
think it makes them look intimidating.
He holds up a design that is your Imperial rosette, but the skull has been changed to be a Mechanicus skull. And instead of 3 spokes on either side of it, it's surrounded by the 8 points of chaos.
Mechanicus skull?
Yes.
Yeah, the half
The black-
machine, half
Yeah.
the cog mechanicus.
Yeah, I was just trying to think as to why.
Unless he's trying to tell us he knows we're here.
Isn't. When is you planning to have a meeting with him?
Sorry? I mean, you heard that conversation. I said,
I heard the one side of it.
sure. I said we should get dinner when this lockdown ends.
But design, what did he ask for? Did he ask for clothing? Did he ask you
Yeah,
just to
he
draw it?
is asking for a new emblem to be designed for future clothing. He said it's all very on the up and up. I mean, some of this stuff sounds very iffy, but there's some imperial iconography here. I'll have to run it by a priest, the ecclesiarchy, just to make sure there's nothing unusual about it. I mean, with your guys' basic knowledge, like, this is
Yeah.
a heretical version of the Inquisitorial sigil is never going to pass.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna.
Well,
tell
I
Lycus,
will
Perhaps
let you down now. Is that will never pass due to many reasons I will not explain.
Well, I wasn't seriously going to make this. You told me that you're looking for him. The Inquisition doesn't look for, good people, except when they want to interview. Like me.
Yes.
I mean,
So
if
you don't
aspects-
end up on a tailor's blacklist for just any small reason. You have to be a very serious offender.
So if Aspects is interested in this symbol as a form of unification, that means he's planning to unite the Inquisition, the Mechanicus, and the worshippers of chaos.
I guess what you're saying, James, is that he's looking to form some kind of dark inquisition. It only took 19 episodes to drop that one. Thanks, guys. Season's over. We're done.
I believe we need to set up a meeting time. I will inform the governor that we should turn off the lockdown in 2 hours.
I don't believe that would be a good idea. From the way Aspects was speaking to you on the phone, did it sound like he was caught up in the lockdown?
Yes.
I don't believe we should end the lockdown.
Honestly, I believe that someone is clever as this stupid bastard probably has a way to get around it. Whether through bribes or sheer cleverness. As much as I'm loath to admit it.
But
said
at the same
that-
time, why make it easy for him?
You said that the same design was the one that that described to you that he was wearing was the one that his brother had, the governor's brother had, right?
The cloak. The gold cloak.
Oh.
No,
Well, that'd
sorry.
be a
Yes. No, I'm confused. You're asking about
Yeah.
the suit that he was wearing. Yes. The suit was worn by Ricard Humes.
Sounds like we need a Batman transition to the governor's brother.
Diddle-diddle-diddle.
May I have your Vox information so that we contact you later?
Of
as
course.
Plans change?
And here's a spare business card to offer to anyone that you meet in the Imperial Palace, no matter what rank they are. And let me just give you 20.
Okay.
It also does not need to be said that we were never here and this conversation never happened.
That's going to be tough. We did have an announcement over the factory floor that the Inquisition was here.
Oh, that's right. Fuck. Forgot how stupid they are.
Should I tell everyone that that was a drill?
Yes.
That was a drill.
We drill.
You will
keep-
also need a new front door.
Well, unfortunately, they aren't delivering right now because of the lockdown.
I'm just letting you know in the future.
As we leave, we just like pull the door back up and just sit. Yeah, it's fine.
You lean it into its frame.
Yeah.
The whole
Uh,
scene of Lycus just like, I just maybe no, okay.
as you guys are walking out into the street in slow motion, like a rap music video, in the background you can hear him going, that's the conclusion of today's drill. The Inquisition was not here. It doesn't exist. We were just testing response time of security forces. It is a failure. I could have been killed by those contractors. We are doing drills all day long with the security team. You have 3 shifts, and they're all going to be drills.
Oh my god, could you? That would be such a great cover for an Inquisition team. I'm note for Dark Heresy game, like penetration testers.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude, that would be a great cover.
I suspect there probably are businesses in the Imperium that have Inquisition drills, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
depends.
mostly heretical places.
Start
There's-
burning all the papers,
there's
shredding
some-
everything.
There's some planets where like the Inquisition literally just has like giant black fortresses, and it's known that they exist. But
I mean,
probably
on
not
this
a
planet,
practical
it's
for
not
this
like
one.
they're super duper secret. They operate out of the Imperial Palace.
Well, yeah,
the
but we don't have a
general
giant
people-
fortress with like an Inquisitional flag flying from it, like some planets do.
In general,
Like
people
Scintilla.
are told it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to remember most people are stupid and superstitious too, so they'll buy into whatever you tell them.
I think on the way to the essentially the Capitol building, I think we're gonna Vox and the governor.
It takes about 20 minutes of hold time with the governor's secretary, but then you get Colm Humes who goes, "Oh, Lycus, so good to hear from you again.
Yes,
I wanted
was-
to thank you for initiating this lockdown. It has really made my job so much more easy."
I'm glad to make your life so easy for you. I was curious if perhaps I could get the number for your brother.
Oh, you want to Vox
Go
my
there.
brother? Okay, well,
Yes,
I thought...
may have a potential tailor for him if he hasn't already found one.
Okay. Well, this is a unusual request, but sure.
Well, you asked me to try to find him a tailor, and I finally found one.
Did he?
Somebody
actually did.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Man,
was
that's
like
a
way
callback
back.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was pretty far back.
It says, "Wow, I don't even remember telling you to do that." With the situation that's going on, is tailoring really the... Well, if you've got it, you've got it. Okay, let me send you over the digits. It's 555, and he sends you over the rest of the Vox communicator number.
Thank you. I'll let you know how it goes.
If you're... I can see that you're on a aircraft. I suppose that you're moving around the city.
I am.
Would you like to join me for dinner in a few hours? I'm hosting a party, and because all of the nobility are locked out, I can eat whatever I want for once.
We're having something called McDonald's. I've never heard of it, but I imagine that's what they would do, right? That's like their like cheat days. They eat something just horribly shameful.
They serve it in giant gold... They serve the McDonald's sauce at giant golden platters.
I mean, imagine that's something rich people, because they think they're being naughty, right? That's something they would probably do. I mean, rich people are stupid.
It's seen straight out of Kingsman.
Leave
Yeah.
a reservation for me. If I can make it, I will let you know.
Of course. He hangs up the box.
What are the chances that Tyrone may try to attempt to assassinate him during said party?
The man
Party of
seems
one. It's literally
incompetent
just
enough.
him.
No, if it's
Oh,
just
is it just him?
Yes, that's what he's saying. Is that normally when he hosts parties, multiple nobles show up, and then they have
Okay.
dietary restrictions. Tonight, it's just him, so he can eat whatever he wants for the first time.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So of course, it would
I-
be very easy to assassinate him, insofar as he'll be alone.
With a giant banquet table full of double quarter pounders.
It's Antipho's dream.
I love the idea that he
Sandwiches,
removes the
Lycus,
sandwich and Antipho's face is there. He just keeps eating them, and Antipho has been standing there the whole time.
Kalrak is standing in the corner with a lampshade on his head. No one notices.
I guess I'll call his brother. Just like I got his number.
Yeah.
Yeah. You so do, and you get him. He says, "This is Rykard Humes. Who am I speaking to?"
This is Lycus Centauro. I got your number from your brother, the governor. He had asked me some time ago to find you a new tailor, since the old one had passed.
I see. Please send the information to my social secretary.
I was wondering if there was a chance that I could meet you in person.
So he turns to look into the camera for the first time. Like, who the hell are you? He says, "I'm sorry. I've never heard of you. If you've been contacting my brother, obviously you're someone of at least small means. Why would I meet with you? And in regards to what?"
I just wanted to have a conversation with the man I was trying to find a tailor for.
I'm sorry. I'm quite busy right now.
Your father had promised me a squad of
My father is dead.
No, your brother has offered me, apologies. Your brother has offered me a squad of Adeptus Sororitas in exchange for finding you a new tailor.
What kind of idiot exchanges a squad of highly trained battle sisters for a tailor?
That idiot would be your brother.
I've heard.
I don't think this is the time to play games of be coy. Just flex the muscle and be done with it.
I am of
Otherwise,
the Inquisition.
we'll get nowhere.
Okay, when you say
That is why.
Inquisition, he's just like, yes, well, now it all makes sense. If the Inquisition wishes a meeting with me, I will meet with you.
Excellent. I'll be there as soon as possible.
Yes, I'm sure.
And I'll just stop comms.
See, now isn't that so much less difficult?
I'm trying not to do it, and then you keep recommending doing it.
Because we have been given free reign to do so.
Yes, does not mean that we should do so.
What's the point in having a big stick if you don't use it to hit people upside the head every now and again?
See, Kalrak gets it.
Okay.
Did he seem nervous to you at all?
Extremely.
I don't know. Did he seem nervous to me at all after I mentioned it?
Make an insight check.
Okay. I believe I'm. Double check. I am still a 6. Six. That was almost a 6.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I feel bad for you.
That's as long as it's not a 1.
A 4. I mean, he seemed gruff to you.
Okay.
Resigned.
I'll accept this. He seemed relatively fine. He was mostly just confused as to why someone would offer a tailor for a group of trained soldiers, essentially. Especially trained soldiers.
Well, never underestimate the power of a good tailor.
Or the stupidity of nobility?
I would go with the latter on that one. Seems the governor has such an easy life. He is more consumed with the luxuries as compared to the practicalities.
So I just feel like we've got a new insight into aspects that we need to exploit. We've been dancing to his tune the whole time. We need to introduce something that we can predict.
When you arrive at the palace, you spend about 20 minutes walking through the hallways. There are some servitors around, but they mostly seem to have been like. Even here, servitors are a little dated, gauche. They use live human servants, more or less, but they are in small number and small supply. They seem to be looking around confused as to what's going on when you're walking around. When you get to the Rykard's essentially wing of the Imperial Palace here, there is no one. There's no social secretary waiting at the front desk. The doors to his wing are closed.
I think, Lycus will just go straight to his office if we can find it.
This entire wing is empty of people. You head to his office, and it's clear that someone was here recently. What's the version of coffee for the Warhammer 40K?
Recaf.
There's a cup of recaf that's cooling on the desk. The door that exits his office out to his landing pad is open, and there's a dramatic breeze blowing the drapes.
We should get back
I thought
to
he
our
sounded
vehicle.
nervous.
You start
Well, we have
running.
one option here. We can return to our ship and chase after him, or shoot the ship that he's in and hope he survives. I'm going to get to the plane.
Yeah, we should probably get back to the Utica.
It was a 20-minute walk, but it's a 10-minute run back to the Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make it first and start warming up the turbines.
Yep. Okay, you get back up in the air.
I was send a Vox out saying if there's any other vehicles in the airspace besides the one that he's marked in.
I'm start looking for radar contacts.
So there's no radar contacts above the city within your range, which isn't very long.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start asking for, people, you get check-ins from the Arbites are stationed around the city, but there's a really clear corridor heading in a specific direction where Arbites do not check in.
Mm.
And it's wide enough that if they were flying low, they wouldn't be able to be detected in that corridor from people that were too far to the left or right.
Yeah.
Say we go through that.
So as you start flying in that direction, you get reports from Arbites reporting your position, and also they're reporting movement of other Arbites through the city. They're like, there's a Arbite vehicle on the ground moving. Should we be following it?
Is that reporting to me, or is that reporting over the general comm?
they're like, you sound like you're in charge, sir. We got a loose Arbite vehicle. Someone has left their post.
Yes, please follow that immediately.
So that happens several times. And at this point, there's like a massive chase across the city, all heading northeasternly. It's like a wave of Arbite versus Arbite action.
I think we just need to communicate out that anybody that doesn't respond to the orders to hold their position is to be
Yes.
treated as an enemy and engaged.
But now you're telling people to not hold their position and chase them.
Well, yeah.
So there definitely is some confusion where good Arbites accidentally engage each other due to this situation. Would someone like to make a coordination and leader? I think Kalrak is probably, as the person in the censor seat, the one that would be in the best position to do this. But if anyone wants to jump in,
I would like to jump in.
You
what
are
kind of-
currently flying an aircraft. That makes it a little bit harder to also coordinate a massive manhunt.
This would be what, leadership?
Leadership.
Does
Yeah,
anybody
my
else have
leadership's not
piloting? I highly doubt it.
I have 5 in piloting.
I don't think you
I have
skill
5
in
in
that.
Antipho's
piloting.
Yeah. We're all 5.
You want to
I
swap
mean-
swap seats with Antipho?
We could hot swap seats.
Okay, make your leadership to coordinate this massive search and destroy mission.
Assuming direct control.
Yeah,
I'll double check my
I'm gonna
sheet.
tell you right here. Difficulty right now is 6. This ain't no small time show.
I have leadership of 7. So.
Well, that's a good start.
Well, don't fuck it up.
Got some glory in that glory pool.
Yeah, we
I
did.
do.
You want to do something with it? You want to step up and dance?
It's your card.
I don't remember what else you can do with glory.
Brief inspires day.
You can spend it after the roll to add an extra dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show me your moves.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right.
Yep, that's 7.
Is it worth the spend my last wrath?
Well, what's the difficulty?
It was 7.
No, difficulty was
6.
6. You have 7.
Okay. So you've already achieved it. The best you could get would be to be able to shift some dice.
I'd save it.
Yeah, okay. I'll save.
Okay, you manage to keep anybody from killing each other, and you do successfully get ahead of this wave of problems. So over the course of 30 minutes, you essentially get the Arbites to encircle a position around the city, and you start getting reports of a, noble civilian vehicle abandoned next to a warehouse.
I guess we fly to that.
All right.
Totally doesn't sound like a trap.
Oh, it most certainly is. This is why you don't swing the Inquisition dick so much. It tends to tip people off.
As you're landing, you get a call from the Acolyte that is at the adept that is at the desk, the armory adept, basically.
Yes?
We have another call here from Talrond Aspects.
Oh, excellent. Please put them through.
So Talrond shows up once again wearing that fantastic cape, saying, Lycus, I want to keep this brief. You are, of course, attempting to trace me.
Maybe.
I understand that some of my pawns have moved off the board, and that's very unfortunate.
Indeed.
I'm afraid I can't let you have them. As he says that, the entire warehouse explodes.
What, the one we're headed to? Or
Yes.
landed on?
Yeah, you're landing near it, and it's very unfortunate. I rather like the man. He had such great vision for our organization. But
Would have had better fashion sense.
your efforts are growing quite tiresome, Lycus. I'd prefer that you join me and the Dark Inquisition. But if necessary, we will maintain good order throughout this world in the name of chaos by removing you.
Perhaps you'd like to meet up sometime.
Do you have a time and place?
I may. Are you considering this?
So, Kalrak, in the background,
Mm-hmm.
you can see the adept on his screen going like,
Okay.
I
mean,
mean, just opened up.
Actually, Lycus would see it because he's at the comms console. I'm flying now.
sure.
We swap seats.
Yeah, but I'm assuming he's full screening this other call. So maybe everybody else is seeing on a secondary panel. The adept's like,
Yeah. I'd probably be the only one that can't do it because he's behind me now.
yes.
I know what you
I like-
desire. What you
I
desire
still-
most.
Off. I mean, if I'm off camera,
You
and I
are.
know I'm off camera.
Yes.
I'd be like
And I'm-
stream
I'm-
along,
so-
keep playing the game.
I specifically, like, the turbines are throttled down, but they're like, I could take off in a second. I haven't stopped anything. Just
So
after all this shit.
your adept friend is sending you a course to the supposed location of where this call is coming from.
All right, I'll start plugging it into the
Okay, yeah.
guidance system.
I know what you want. You want power. You want to be amongst the bigwigs. I can help you with that. You have helped me in the past. It would only be fair if I were to also help.
He raises an eyebrow as if surprised by the sudden change in this conversation. And how exactly will Lycus Centauro, hero of the Imperium, help me today?
I've been given a large amount of power at the moment.
So you are thinking of switching sides.
I have considered.
Then speak the name of your favorite god.
My favorite god?
Yes, I'm sure you favor one of the four.
I would have to say it would probably be Zinch.
I'd like you to make a corruption test.
I know.
And then I'd like you to make some sort of bluffing test.
What is corruption? Conviction?
Conviction.
Conviction. The higher of the two. Yeah.
Is the spinning of glory like makes it easier?
Like,
Or is that spinning a wrath?
Spending a wrath lets you re-roll. Spending a glory lets you add an extra dice after you've made the roll and seen the result.
Okay. Well, I got 4 conviction, so. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Corruption test.
I believe I automatically get a thing of corruption. Or do
No,
you
so the
roll
one-
the rat die with it?
You roll the wrath dice. The one means if you do get corruption, you double the amount you get.
Yes.
Would 3 be a failure?
I'm looking it up for the specific one. I keep going to the wrong page. Corruption tests. Maybe that will be the thing I'm looking for. Yes, corruption tests. Difficulty is speaking the name of a ruinous power is difficulty 2, so you pass.
So I don't get any corruption for it.
That's correct. He says, not my particular brand, but when chaos comes together, we respect each other. What a glorious, straightforward day for you to finally rise up to our ranks. I'm sending you some coordinates. Be there in the next hour.
I will be sure to be there.
Come alone.
Very well.
And be prepared for a life-changing event.
I'll be sure to be ready.
Kalrak, you get sent a series of coordinates that is to the same location that you are already headed to.
Okay.
You hang up.
I hang up.
He hangs up as well.
So either we could go there, or we could send a death strike missile there.
These are
I'm-
both very great options, but I feel as though we have to confirm.
Killing a villain off camera? Are you sure he can really be considered dead if you don't see the body?
That's true. That's the thing.
We need to report this.
We report this immediately, and I don't think we should immediately go alone.
Well, here's a question I have: is this a standard Valkyrie that's just been
Inquisitorialized, yes.
Okay, so it should be armed then.
Correct.
We could always drop Lycus off and then be somewhere nearby, ready to blow the shit out of whatever we need to. But like, drop him off and then go somewhere else. Drop off Eshairr and Antipho, and then I could stay in the bird, or we could land it somewhere else and we deploy from that. It's really up to Lycus.
Just so we're all on the same page, when Kalrak next asks us about heresy amongst our own group,
Gonna have to
Nobody's-
mention it.
you are going to mention it because I
Gonna
was
have
going
to.
say that. I think we need to.
Well, out of character, I'm saying gonna have to.
Is this in character? You guys are all
This
like,
is me-
"Look,
this
we
is
need
me
to
in
get our
character.
story
It's-
straight, guys.
This is me in character saying I don't think we should tell Cinevis that you mentioned the name of the Changer of Ways.
Yes, I needed to do that to get his trust. I don't think saying the Lord of Change would have quite convinced him. If he's even still convinced at all.
it is a bluff. I mean, there could be consequences, but I mean, a bluff is a bluff. Because honestly, if Kalrak thought that Lycus was, whatever, he would have blown its head off by now.
I mean, yeah, he could just blammed him in the face right there.
We're all aware of the bluff. We're all aware of what
Yeah.
Lycus Riston is doing. But once again, Cinevis is also Cinevis.
Yeah. I get what you're putting down.
I'll pay for the whatever consequences may come later. Right now, we currently have, hopefully, the man we're looking for where we want him.
Yeah, I think
you can take it out of our
going
hands by telling him first yourself.
Then.
Well, he always specifically asks signs of corruption.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Indeed. We can discuss this later. Right now, we need to worry about the heretic we've been chasing after for over 6 months.
Yeah.
Yes, I would very much love to see him dead.
I call Cinevis up, the Inquisitor.
Wow. Last name basis now. Next, you're just going to be like, yo, what's up, Cal? He answers almost immediately and looks up from some paperwork and says, Lycus?
I have a location where he is. I've been able to convince him to tell me. He wants me to go alone. Obviously, I don't intend to be entirely alone.
You don't feel the need to just level the entire block, maybe the precinct.
I feel as though that'd be an easy solution, but I feel as though he knows a way to escape that easily.
I gave you that rosette because I'm going to trust you to carry this out as part of your interrogator training.
Very well.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Remember to have faith in the Emperor.
I think we should set something up to where if this doesn't go to our liking and we're going to end up dying, we should be able to call in the strike anyways.
We need someone
Better to
people
drop
who
it
can,
on our heads and end it entirely than to risk him getting away.
Well, it all depends on what level that this place is at. Either, I mean, if it's deep underground or whatever, then it's not going to matter.
It's
bigger
on
bombs.
the surface, and in fact,
Okay.
it appears to be at the top of a tower that rises above the clad level.
Okay.
You should probably also tell the Inquisitor that the governor's brother was involved and is now dead.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
so he hears from us first.
You're gonna call it back real quick.
Just text him.
I'll just send it as a message just to inform him.
He sends you back a acknowledged.
I think what we should do next is inform the Adalri and then the Grey Knights to our plans because they have the ability and the means to teleport in where we need.
No.
Or backup, so to speak.
You did say come alone. It only takes one person to drive an Alligar Warglaive.
True.
Yeah, you're just gonna borrow one of those real quick.
Well, it's a little more complicated than that, but yeah, I think setting up a QRF would not be a bad idea.
Is there like larger carriers that can fly about?
I mean, there are transports. Like,
Yeah, transports.
I mean,
Just remember, everyone in the city knows that there's a lockdown. So anyone that sees anything flying is gonna be like, "Well, that's not supposed to be flying."
I know.
But this is the Imperium. It's the year 41 bazillion. If you want to have a drone strike waiting off camera to eliminate the position when you don't check in, you can do that. You have an Imperial rosette.
I will
That would be a
message.
good call.
I'll call the Grandmaster actually.
give Lycus a laser designator and I'll fire a Hellstrike missile and put it up Tauron's asshole.
Yeah, what can you tell me about this Grandmaster who I'm suddenly expected to play?
Oh, never mind. I'll just message him then.
Okay, you just text him real quick. What are you texting him?
Yeah, as message him was like, I'll send him the coordinates saying, location of heresy. If I do not report in at, we'll say, or if I send word, let's say 20 minutes after, or if I don't, or when I say word, jump to this position.
Well, either you could do it, or I mean, well, I guess it depends.
But you've got all these deep striking forces killed, though, Pondo.
No,
No, you're right. You have one squad of interceptors left.
I got one.
What are they doing? Gate of Infinity or something?
No, they could just teleport.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
Terminators. They can deep strike.
Ah, I see. Terminators, yes.
They Grandmasters, Terminators as well.
Interceptors are regular Marines with teleporters.
Okay, interesting.
Terminators are all dead.
Wow, they do not fuck around,
Oh,
I guess.
Oh yeah, no, Grey Knight's got all this special shit.
Yeah. Also, for 1 CP, you can put something else in deep strike. Just a little note.
That's not a thing you can do here.
If they want it, they just get it. They're weird like that.
Also for the Eldari, I'll tell Eshairr the same thing to tell them. And then
I'll pull out a communicator and gibber in Eldari for a bit to sort of try and line up some assistance as required.
Okay, they're ready to deep strike as well.
We just got to figure out what we're doing. Are we gonna dismount, or are we gonna stay in the bird and wait? Like, what are we doing?
I'll dismount out. You guys stay in the bird and wait.
Okay. You want us to stay
Notify
out wherever, or stay in the air?
Notify your other factions, Commander Brody and whatnot, that to start heading to this position at this time.
That tank's gonna have a hard time flying to the top of a tower.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting there. I'll set up the means for them and the flight patterns that are legalized for them as to not raise suspicion.
I mean, anything in the sky is going to raise suspicion.
Yeah.
Well, no, it would be essentially a sanctioned flight. Like, it's as scheduled. They report in. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
You've locked down all traffic, so it's still gonna be super obvious.
Yeah.
Look, you think you've got this, you know? How nervous are you that he might think that maybe this is a trap of yours?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously, there's not going to be any trust there.
There's no trap. I mean, there is a trap, and there's no trust.
Correct.
Are you ready to land then?
I guess I'm ready to land.
Are you drop shooting in through the Valkyrie?
I mean, I think it'd be more of a touch and go. We land,
just gonna
walks out the back ramp, and then we take off again.
All right, you
Yeah,
go
just
Agents of
development.
Shield style. Okay.
Just put them out Sparta style. This is the Inquisition.
I just don't imagine it going well for Lycus trying to like Black Hawk down, down a rope in power armor. I mean, you could do with the way Space Marines do it, where they hover about 20 feet off the ground and they just jump out because the
I
power
don't
armor
have that
sucks up
jetpack though.
Yeah, you don't need it though. The power armor absorbs the impact and you just
That's
go.
true.
Now, I don't know if a normal human can do that, but that's the way Astartes do it. They don't
Probably not.
faster up down.
So there's a terraced patio garden up here, with like a door that leads down into this facility, and the door very creepily opens on its own into a darkened staircase.
Hold on, is there like a flashlight to the armor, maybe?
Sure.
Probably.
I assume that you have flashlight capability.
Yeah. Turn on the flashlight and start heading down.
You head down and you open the door and you come out in what is essentially a penthouse suite. Lots of statues, tasteful decor, some sort of like 70s jazz, slow jamming is already put on. Lots of curtain work, purple and gold is on display everywhere. There is a giant Lycus Santoro, hero of the Imperium, looking off into the middle distance portrait on a wall, but there are also 4 Talrond Aspects portraits.
Wow, it's something of an obsession of his, I guess.
From the kitchen table, you can see him chopping up some like beans. Next to the table on the floor is a crate with Imperial Guard markings that appears to be full of ham and bean rations. And it says, Lycus, so good to see you.
Indeed. Been quite some time.
We just talked a very short time ago.
I meant
do you mean
we
when I got
spent some-
stabbed in the gut?
Yes.
You
when
know, I
got
really
stabbed in the
appreciate
gut.
you killing all those Khorne heretics. Worked out great for me, you know. I've been trying
very
to
well
recruit
know.
them to my organization, but they were just so cornate, so stubborn.
Yes.
You know how hard unity is, and well, finally found their leader, and you killed him for me.
That I did.
Split pea soup, maybe some wine.
I'm
He's
fine.
got like a white tablecloth dinner set out for you, a charcuterie board, some glasses, several bottles have been set out.
Tiny
I
meats
had
and
an-
cheeses.
Yeah.
And he's eating MREs.
That's like I had a artificial cheese ration. I'm quite backed up for a little while. I think I'll pass.
I have several things to help you with that. You know, the top level society have so many drugs designed that can do so many things for you.
I can imagine.
Why don't you... Here, let me get one of my purges. We can just get all that out of your stomach and we can enjoy another feast.
I'm fine.
Okay. Well, at least let me pour you some wine.
Very well.
He sits down across the table from you after leaving you a wine glass. We're talking, you know, every single wall here is open glass, skyrise, looking out over a beautiful cloudscape of the toxic fumes that suffocate the workers of the lower hive levels.
Are there any nearby buildings of the same
Yes.
approximate level?
Yep.
Perhaps we could set up Eshairr in a sniper spot.
Absolutely.
Drop me off on a roof, and I will find a spot.
Yeah, okay.
Lycus, I cannot begin to tell you how important it is for me that you join the Dark Inquisition. You know, it is... Unity is so hard to achieve. And now that the Mechanicus is on board, we can finally begin to make the real moves.
Which part? The Biologus, I suppose?
The Dark Mechanicus, of course.
Oh, the dark.
Biologus, please.
I've heard that they've been fools. I am sorry that you had to lose one of your seats at the noble offices.
Losing Rykard is a blow to me. I can't allow him to fall into the hands of the Arbites or the Inquisition. But losing those Terminator suits was far, far more damning. Still, as you can see, my successes have allowed Slaanesh to bestow upon me many gifts.
Oh, of course.
I've actually prepared a ritual for you in the other room. You've been so helpful to our organization. Slaanesh is prepared to offer you gifts as well. We could begin the change now if you'd like. Or we can wait until you resolve that bowel issue.
I think we'll go ahead and get ready to begin.
So he stands up and says, "Follow me."
Indeed.
He walks you through the apartment towards a plain wooden door, which when he opens is very clearly some sort of weird ass S&M torture chamber with several people in chaos tattoos hanging from the walls. There's three men and a woman in here. And there's a ritual set up similar to the one you saw in the Inquisitor's office several times, but this one appears to be way more evilish, given the fact that live blood is being used to draw out the circle and sigilry. And, you know, in general, rather than praises to the Emperor being written, it's some straight up, you know, Abaddon, what's up, man? I'm just trying to call you.
Ezekiel, you motherfucker.
Just stand in the center of the circle. We'll begin the sacrifice of what's necessary. What are you looking to get done here? You know, a little bit taller. Maybe remove those bowel issues permanently.
So that's how you grew a little height.
Get some muscle tone in there. He like flicks your shoulder. Could underneath that armor, it looks like maybe there's a little bit of flab there, and we can just get that.
I assure you not, there is no flab.
What if there was more muscle? We can make it happen. As he does this, he closes the door, cutting off Eshairr and Kalrak's view of this situation.
Is it just... So are the other people currently tied up?
They are being hung from the ceiling and chained to the floor.
And there's no other ones in view?
Correct. Just you and him. He doesn't appear to be wearing Inquisitorial power armor either.
Where are your other friends? Are you here by yourself?
I have many friends.
There you go.
He gestures around. He says, "We're not alone. I'm clearly you're here with me, unless, of course, this is some sort of inquisitorial trap, and you've tricked me into this meeting."
That would be absurd, wouldn't it?
It would.
Yes.
You want to make a deception check real quick? While he counters it with an insight?
Sure. 6.
7.
2, 3.
Can I do something with all this fuck ton of ruin? Wow, that's an incredible roll. Oh my god. I got 9 successes.
Is that worth the spin of wrath?
You are not even close,
Oh,
man.
I don't even bother. I think he was like, yes, that's quite absurd. And in fact, it's actually happening right now. As he sends like a quick vox and pulls out his chained axe.
This seems like a great place to end the episode. Yeah, like he seems concerned and enters a kind of martial stance, but he doesn't pull out any weapons or do anything really super duper. Eshairr, I assume that you can still see him through the wall using your prey sense.
Provided it's not like an extra dimensional space. It's got like, you know,
Yeah.
thermal. So
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you can still see him. Okay, well, that was an episode. Finally backed up Kalrak aspects, and more importantly, we finally met the Dark Inquisition.
Exposition, the movie.
Yeah, I admit there was a lot of exposition here, but on the other hand, you guys did ask for it several times. I didn't even have to. You guys were like, let's open the Inquisitor's file, and I was like, motherfucker, please.
It's like when everybody asks, like, what's the name of every NPC, and you're like, I don't fucking know, Jeff. It's like, just...
Yeah, let's do some outros then. Sid, welcome back. We're taking the end of the episode here.
Sorry, yeah.
It's all
family
right.
stuff to
Talron saw through Lycus's plan, and they're preparing to fight in the evil torture ruinous chamber. You know, glorious hand-to-hand combat. Lycus Santoro, what can I say about you? Let's start with you on the outros. This is a very Lycus-y episode.
Yeah. It was interesting to actually have the experience of. No, I said I want to go through the door. Not I want to open the door. I didn't think that was an option, but apparently it was. I think this was a good episode. It tied some of the back things up. Definitely put aside the possible Inquisitors trying to form some sort of or gain control of chaos.
Do you no longer believe that?
I don't know.
Okay.
There is some shady deals he does as far as the psychic shit goes, but granted, it appears to seem that they're in good nature. I don't know. We'll have to see, especially if he brings up the. So I saw you looked at my file. Would you come here into this electric chair real quick as we discuss this? Yeah, I don't know. It's got nice to have finally figured out a way to catch Tauron and nothing interrupting that for once.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Well, you did kill a lot of people to get to this point.
I did.
Yes.
There's been a lot of bodies,
Yes, there have been.
but I'd say it's all worth it.
Welcome to the Inquisition.
It's all worth it.
I mean, comparatively, he's killed relatively few people to get to this point.
I know, he didn't even missile strike the building. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, I guess this is it for this guy. They're
The enemies have
discussing the
killed more
missile
people than
strike.
we have, which is rather impressive.
Well, in some cases, you've asked them to kill an entire floor full of people.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but you know.
That was for the greater good. You know, that's Tau.
Or, you know, a town.
It was a small town anyway. Half of it was done by the cultists in the first place, so you know.
It would have got destroyed one way or another.
All right. If you don't have anything else, let's jump over to Sid Alpha.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you for watching. I had a good time, even though I had to step away quite a bit. I apologize for that. Family things and all that does tend to happen sometimes when you're a father. It's just the way the dice roll on
How
occasion.
dare you be a good father? The
Right.
nerve.
No, I did have fun. I didn't get to kill anyone though, which makes me a little sad. But I got to pray.
You found enlightenment, yeah.
Found enlightenment and a very, very, very religious sister. So
Wow.
there's that at least. Never going back there again. No, I'll take my praying elsewhere. Thank you. Yeah, no, this is a good setup, and I think it'll be a good lead in for the next one, because I would really like to see Tauron aspects not to be alive anymore. I think that would be a great goodness. And yeah, we should be back this Thursday with more BattleTech. And
Well,
how?
Yeah. Well, how I see it happening is that Lycus is going to actually do all the work for once, and then as he's trying to flee, Eshairr just snipes him and takes the kill.
Yeah.
Lycus, duck. Missile just flies in and just takes him out.
Just
Duck, what do you
just
mean?
completely
See a crack missile
non-dramatic
fly
ending.
in.
I mean, it's like, it's like Bane, in Dark Knight Rises, it's just vehicle takes him out. It's like, well, fuck. Like,
It had to happen. And then we report Lycus to the Inquisitor for exhibiting corruption
eh,
because he spoke the name of a dead he spoke the name of
it's
a
not been the
little
first time it's
corruption.
happened. Yeah. Necessary. Ends justify the means, I think, in this case.
so Lycus
I-
dies, and then we become the Inquisitorial Acolytes.
No, the whole team has to be purged.
Not always.
That would be an incredible ending, though, right? You're like, yeah, he said the name of that one chaos god, and the Inquisitor's like,
Well, you're all
too much
dead.
corruption. You guys witnessed it.
I didn't hear shit. I was flying plane. It's like,
It's just like that time where you killed the entire town. Now I have to wipe out all of you. It'll hurt me more than it hurts you.
then he gets investigated for corruption by other Inquisitors. It's a whole fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
And
95% of the Eisenhorn series is Eisenhorn being accused of heresy and being chased down by other Inquisitors. And then being
And then
proven right in the end.
exterminate us on the entire planet.
Yeah, let's just wipe out the whole planet. We don't need it. It's, whatever.
Yeah, should be back Thursday with more BattleTech. And in the meantime, I have more editing to do. That's my life. That's what I'm looking forward to. Oh, and more streams with Rachel Messer. So or not streams, but Let's Plays. So she can mercilessly troll me.
Discord?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I haven't taken it back yet.
It sounds like Pono kind of gave up there for a little while.
I got busy.
Okay.
I mean, I keep telling Sid, they just have to vote. They have to approve the black budget. And we'll take care of it. But he won't. I mean, they just keeps getting blocked. They don't know what it's for. They just have to vote yes or no. But, this whole thing. Politics.
We're going to play a game of Secret Hitler. It's just called Secret Rachel. Who's the Rachel Messer?
Should play a game of coup.
Trying to enact fascist policies on the Sid Alpha server.
I mean, she is living up to her last name. I'll give her that.
Yikes.
Wow, that took me a minute, but yeah, I got there. All right. Something, Atomic. How's it going?
Well, my legs are asleep, and there's a cat in my lap who's also asleep, so I can't feel my toes. That's great. But I mean, it's pretty good. A lot of exposition. I get to fly a plane, which is always fun. Flying a plane. I still have my my joystick hooked up right here, mounted on my desk. So I was like, oh, I get to fly a plane. I get to play pretends, whatever. That's pretty good. I'll be here Wednesday, hopefully. New Game Plus. Hopefully, Dave's Plague is done with, so we'll be here for that.
Better. I talked to him.
I mean, it takes a lot to take him out because he's done a couple sessions where he's just been sick as hell, but he's tough throat. So if it was bad enough for him to have to bow out for a night, then it was pretty serious. But hopefully that. You catch me on Pono's channel tomorrow night. We're doing some more Hunters of Wolverine. It'll be 5e Gestalt game, so that'll be going pretty well. I can do horrible Eastern European accents. I believe the art's close to being done for that character art because Cotton was messaging me during the session, so should be done for that. So it'll be pretty good.
Cool.
But that's pretty much it, other than obviously being here again next week.
Oh no, Rachel was timed out by Nightbot. What did she do? What did you do, Rachel? What could you have done to be timed out by my bot? Did she say the word butt or ass? Those two are heavily banned on my channel. So.
Probably one or the other.
I don't know. All right. You got anything else going on, Tomek? How'd you feel about this episode?
I mean,
Quick surface thoughts. If you didn't like it, just say that you liked it. That kind of thing.
we haven't had a lot of. There it goes again.
Oh my God! What is she doing? 600 seconds. She's out for 10 minutes.
Damn.
3 messages deleted. What is she doing?
I assumed it was Sid. She even assumed it was me. It's like, I'm not a mod.
I don't.
I
It's
can't.
obviously heresy. Is what it is.
I said my last name is Germna, misspelled, and Jew. Was it Jew?
It's probably Jew.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm a mod, so I can see what she's typed.
I don't
I'm
know where
guessing
you're
it's
seeing
Jew.
this.
What we're learning is it's Lycus flexing its inquisitorial authority. That's what we've learned.
LMAO. Jesus.
Looks like the now the battle will be between Rachel and AP's.
Yeah, it's not even
Nightbot.
It's Nightbot. It's
Nightbot.
It's Nightbot. I mean, it's probably just something banned by Nightbot, not even by me. It's not even in channel settings.
I mean, session was pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of exposition, a lot of it's like just reading stuff or having stuff read to us. I mean, we got we learned some stuff. We figured out a couple of things, like by what was it, the governor's brother, and you know, it's just one of those like kind of an in between episode, like in between action, and then you have a in between and then more action. So I mean, it's all right. But as the muscle, I'm standing there just like I didn't get to kill anybody. I feel like much like Antipho does get soon. Yeah. But I'll throw it over to James since he's caught up on all the episodes. Like he's like saying stuff. I'm like, did that happen? I guess it did. James said it happened, so I'm just gonna trust him. I don't remember that far back.
It was actually really hard trying to think about the fact that I'd watched episodes as recently as this morning that happened 6 months ago, and like thinking like that conversation's fresh in my head, but clearly not in yours. You know, so when someone started making a joke about the using the Inquisitorial symbol as like a transition, Batman style, fade in, fade out. You know, we did that joke 6 months ago on the show, and I started. I went to start referencing it. I was like, oh no, that's been a while for these guys. So that was good though.
Like AP said, he feels like he fell down a flight of stairs and got hit by a car. I'm like, I do that all the time. I say that all the time. It's like I fell down a flight of stairs, got hit by a Mack truck at the bottom. I'm like, man.
I thought it was funny that I don't know if you remember. I don't know who else didn't remember, but it was funny that I still remember about the Sister Sororitas thing. And
I remembered it
Brother
like after you said promise, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. But
there were certainly points when I was watching the show where NPCs mentioned things that we didn't know at the time, like when we first met the preacher, and we said we thought it might be a death cultist, and the preacher said, "Oh, you should definitely recruit her." Then it's like we didn't know it was a girl then, you know. So that tweaked the idea that maybe he was more aware of her involvement than other stuff before.
No,
so,
I think that's just me. My assumption is that all death cult assassins are female, but
okay, right.
that's true of the models, right? They're all female.
That is so sexist, Arthur.
Listen, that's sexist of Games Workshop, who literally said all women have to belong to this one military organization, and that's it.
I mean, men are capable of being cultists too. Okay.
Listen, guys, I don't disagree with you. There are several men on this show that are cultists. Okay, I'm friends with a lot of cultist NPC males.
When death cultists in the game tend to wear like latex bodysuits, I think that by showing artwork of male death cultists, they're going to get a different kind of clientele to what they really want.
All right, that was not the NPC talking to you. That was me saying, yes, it must be a woman. Right. Because all of the models are women.
I'll cross off my list of clues. No.
Suspiciousness.
He's already dead anyway. It doesn't matter. Look, I had a really great time though. I think this was a really good show. I like Expedition. You know, I'm the opposite of Atomic. When Atomic goes, I didn't get to kill anyone. I'm like, I didn't have to kill anyone.
Didn't have to.
It's going to happen next episode. Listen, if Talron Aspects escapes again, I'm going to laugh so much.
Which is all this intrigue stuff is very counterintuitive to the Iron Hands, because they're very like direct, you know, overwhelming firepower, not being sneaky. They're not Raven Guard. So it's like, man, it's like, let's just shoot some. Let's just, you know, just gonna walk in there, step on his neck, and shoot him in the head. And like, let's just get it fucking over with.
It shouldn't be this complicated.
Yeah.
My assumption was that this guy wasn't going to die that easily to a missile strike.
Oh yeah, no, he's you know, probably, you know, underground, or like, I mean, he's, like I said, he's clever. Like, he might be a dirty cultist, but you have to respect your enemy. Like, don't underestimate your enemy. If you know, assume they're whatever, it's like that's just going to come back to bite you in the ass. And he's proven that he's clever as hell, even though he is an evil asshole. Like,
as much as the option was to just straight nuke him, essentially.
Yeah.
Or drop a Moab on top of him.
I mean, no nukes are good. Crowd.
We've got ships in orbit, right? We can just glass this entire sector.
Engine seer, brother. Begin the rite of the sacred atomic.
I mean, I assume there's got to be some Iron Hands vessels up there somewhere. It's like, hey, there's a strike cruiser. Hey, how about a little, you know?
We drop the bomb.
Let's get some lance fire down here, and, you know, just a beam of pure laser energy. You know, the width of I don't even know. You know?
I mean, just, you know, we could spend the 2 CP to drop the orbital bombardment, and then, you know, onto the building itself, get it on a two up, and good to go.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to try and escape at some point because that's what they always do. They always find a way to get out. And these planets are always filled with tunnels and all sorts of ways to get escape and everything else. So it works both ways.
That's why I communicated to the people who can pop in and be like, "Boo."
Yeah.
So back to my outro.
Yeah.
I like the use of the Pharos, and that certainly explains the tyranny connection as well now. So and it's an interesting bit of lore you've dipped into there as well. So
I found all of the cool little things that I wanted to bring on the show, and I was like, let's do this.
Yep. Gives you a good reason to use both Tyranids and Necrons in the future. So
Pharos is such a good book.
Yep. So yeah, I had a good time. I really enjoyed the show, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this pans out.
All right. Well, are we back next week?
Yep. It'll be my birthday, but my wife said, "What do you want to do on your birthday?" I said, "I want to play my fucking game." So
True. Yeah, we got you for the 8th. It's the 15th where you're not going to be here.
That's it. Yep.
Well, congratulations for your birthday. You're going to get 1 boss fights versus Talrond Aspects. You've been waiting 20 episodes for it, and it's finally happening. Just as planned.
Just as planned.
I wish. That's it for us, guys. We'll be back next week. Try not to start any robot uprisings in regards to dominating Sid Alpha and his channel.
Purge the servitors. Purge
do whatever
them.
you want. But please do not upset Nightbot. It is an old and sacred machine with dark powers that I don't understand. And I prefer
machine spirit is angry.
Yeah, I prefer it remain calm and slumbering beneath the dark waves. We'll see you next week. Fire noises.